Welcome back to High Stakes, where we help you elevate your betting strategy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay updated with our daily content. Looking for exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join us on Patreon. Links are available in the comments section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Oh, buckle up, folks, because this game between the powerhouse Boston Celtics and the underdog Houston Rockets is definitely one for the history books. Who could have possibly predicted this scintillating matchup between a team that has lost 4 of its last 7 games, Boston, of course, and a squad that nobody seems to take seriously despite a 22-11 record? Yes, that would be Houston. It's a battle of epic proportions, and we're all in for a treat. Let's break this down, shall we? Let's start with Boston. What's not to love about a team that started the season with such promise? They've been cruising along with a 24-9 record, sitting comfortably in second place in the Eastern Conference, right behind those juggernaut Cavaliers naturally. Now, you think a 24-9 record is pretty solid, but wait, they've lost 4 of their last 7 games. Oops. Not to worry though, they'll have a chance to bounce back Thursday against the Timberwolves, which means this game will be on the second night of a back-to-back. And let's not forget the Celtics' penchant for firing off threes. They're leading the NBA in three-pointers made, just in case you needed reminding that they're totally not shy about letting it fly from deep. But, how about that shooting percentage? A cool 46.05% from the floor, good for 17th in the league. Don't get me wrong, the Celtics can score, but do they have enough firepower on the second night of a back-to-back to keep up with a physical, defensive-minded Rockets team? And speaking of physicality, we have to talk about the Rockets. With a 22-11 record, Houston is absolutely crushing it this season, and they're making a pretty strong case for why they deserve more respect. They've weathered 2 straight losses to Minnesota and Miami, but bounced back with a very convincing win over Dallas, 110-99. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's still a long shot to win the title at plus 7,500. But hey, every contender has to start somewhere, right? And let's not gloss over that win against the Mavs, where they covered the spread like a pro, winning by 11 despite Dallas outperforming them in almost every category. No big deal though. Alperen Sengun and Jalen Green are really stepping up, leading the charge and proving that Houston is no joke. If you think they're still just the scrappy underdogs, it's time to think again. So, what's going to happen when these two teams collide on Friday night in Houston? Well, I'm glad you asked. On the one hand, we have a Celtics team coming off a grueling loss to the Timberwolves with a banged-up Jaylen Brown shoulder and Kristaps Porzingis ankle, maybe playing through injury. Add that to the fact that they'll be playing on 0 days rest, and we've got a recipe for disaster. They're already struggling to keep their momentum going, and now they're going to have to face a Rockets team that's been clicking, especially at home. Houston is 12-5 SU at home and 11-6 ATS, and they've proven they can handle the pressure. The Rockets have been great at forcing turnovers and capitalizing on mistakes, and with Boston's injuries, they'll likely struggle to keep up with Houston's defensive intensity. But here's the kicker. We all know what's coming. I'm predicting a Rockets cover. Houston's solid home court record combined with Boston's potential fatigue and injuries just makes this too good to pass up. The Celtics may still be one of the better teams in the East, but right now they're struggling a little bit. Houston, on the other hand, is riding a wave of confidence, and they're not backing down. Now, for the total, let's just say this game will be an absolute masterpiece for anyone who loves watching teams not score. Both teams are absolutely stellar on the defensive end, so if you're a fan of watching contested shots, bad shot selection, and defensive dominance, this is your game. The Rockets are second in defensive efficiency this season, only allowing 103.4 points per 100 possessions. The Celtics? They're right behind at 8th with 107.2 points per 100 possessions allowed. So, yeah, defense is going to rule the day here. Factor in Boston's tendency to slow the pace on back-to-backs, and this game is set up for a very low-scoring affair. Houston may be known for its offensive firepower, but when you're up against a stout Celtics defense and both teams struggle to get into a rhythm, I don't see this one hitting the over. So, I'm calling the under. At the end of the day, I see this one playing out with Houston covering and the under hitting. If you're looking for high-scoring thrills, this isn't the game for you. But if you enjoy some gritty defense and the Rockets making their case as a legitimate contender, then you're in for a real treat. Prediction: Rockets cover, under. Now here are my best game prop picks. Alperen Sengun over 10.5 rebounds. Sengun has been a crucial player for the Houston Rockets this season, showcasing his rebounding prowess on both ends of the floor. He's been consistently pulling down a significant number of boards, often leading the team in this department. With Boston dealing with potential fatigue from playing on the second night of a back-to-back, and considering the injuries to key players like Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis, Sengun will have an opportunity to capitalize on any weaknesses in Boston's interior defense. The Celtics have struggled with consistency in their rebounding game, particularly in games where their energy may be drained, such as after playing another tough matchup the night before. Sengun's ability to position himself effectively around the basket, combined with Houston's aggressive defense and transition game, will likely give him plenty of opportunities to clean up the boards. Moreover, Sengun is not only a force on the offensive glass, but also plays a pivotal role on defense, where he can disrupt Boston's attempts at securing second-chance points. Given the physical nature of this matchup and Houston's tendency to play at a more controlled pace, Sengun will be called upon to dominate the boards, especially in a game where both teams will likely struggle to score efficiently. With Houston's defense forcing misses and Boston potentially missing shots due to fatigue and injuries, Sengun should see more opportunities for rebounds, making the over 10.5 a strong pick for this game. Jalen Green over 3.5 three-pointers made. Jalen Green has established himself as a primary scoring option for the Houston Rockets this season, and his ability to stretch the floor with his three-point shooting is one of his key strengths. With Boston's defense likely focusing on containing Houston's big men and trying to disrupt players like Alperen Sengun in the paint, Green will have ample opportunities to capitalize on open looks from beyond the arc. Boston's defense has been formidable overall, but they've shown vulnerability at times when it comes to guarding the perimeter. As the Celtics might try to lock down on Houston's interior players, this could free up Green to get clean looks from three-point range, especially if Boston is forced to collapse on Sengun or other Rockets players driving to the basket. Green's confidence as a shooter has been on the rise, and he's shown a strong ability to catch fire from beyond the arc when given space. Given the pace of the game and Houston's emphasis on spacing the floor, Green should see plenty of opportunities to shoot from long range. Additionally, Boston's tendency to play a slower-paced game when fatigued due to back-to-backs could result in more half-court sets, where Green could thrive in catching and shooting situations. His ability to hit multiple three-pointers in a game has been consistent throughout the season, and with Boston's defense spread thin, Green could easily surpass the 3.5 mark. Look for Green to have a strong performance from the three-point line in this matchup, taking advantage of Boston's defensive attention elsewhere and the opportunity to knock down shots with fewer defenders closing out on him. Over 3.5 three-pointers made is a solid pick based on his recent form and the defensive strategy Boston will likely employ. Jaylen Brown under 22.5 points. Jaylen Brown has been one of the cornerstones of the Boston Celtics offense, but there are a few factors working against him in this matchup, especially when it comes to hitting the 22.5-point mark. For starters, Brown is dealing with a shoulder injury, which could limit his explosiveness and ability to take over the game offensively. While he's tough and will likely play through the injury, shoulder issues can significantly affect a player's shooting range, ball handling, and ability to drive to the basket effectively. In addition to the injury, the Celtics will be playing on the second night of a back-to-back, which can often lead to fatigue. After an intense game the night before, Brown might not have the same burst or energy to keep up with the pace of the game. This could especially impact his scoring, as he may not have the stamina to assert himself as much as he normally would. In the past, players have shown a tendency to underperform on the second night of back-to-backs, especially when dealing with injuries. Furthermore, Brown will be facing a tough Houston Rockets defense. The Rockets have been one of the best defensive teams in the league this season, ranking second in defensive efficiency. They are particularly good at slowing down players who like to get to the rim or shoot from mid-range, which is where Brown typically excels. With the Rockets likely focusing their defensive efforts on stopping Brown and Jason Tatum, Brown might struggle to find his usual rhythm, especially if the Rockets double-team him or force him into contested shots. The combination of Brown's injury, the fatigue from the back-to-back, and the Rockets' defensive capabilities all point to a potential underperformance in this game. Even though Brown is a dynamic scorer, these factors will likely keep him from reaching his usual scoring output of 22.5 points. Given the matchup, the under on Brown's points total feels like the smart pick here. And that's a wrap on today's video, folks. I'm sure you're absolutely on the edge of your seat, eagerly awaiting the next thrilling installment of this channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because clearly you don't want to miss any of our daily videos. I mean, who could live without them? And while you're at it, smash that notification bell, so you can be the first to know when we drop more gems like this. Oh, and if you're looking for some premium picks, because, let's be honest, who isn't? Join our Patreon. It's where the real magic happens. Premium picks, insider info, and possibly even some mildly entertaining banter. So, hit that link, and we'll see you on the inside. Until next time, enjoy the game, make those bets, and remember, you're welcome.